Thank you so much, God, for allowing us to come together today and for being intentional about getting into your word and getting to know your character and your heart better, Lord. I pray that you will bless this atmosphere because you said in your word where two or three are gathered that you are among us, Lord. I pray you will touch our hearts and teach us a new level with you, Lord. Take us deeper into intimacy with you and just help us to nourish this relationship, leading with love, faith, and gentleness, Lord. I pray you will help us to be gentle not only in our relationship with you, but in those that we choose to go into with others as well. We thank you for your presence, your light, and the revelation that you're going to bless us with this evening. In Jesus' name I pray. Amen.
Amen.
So, James, a servant of God and of the Lord Jesus Christ, to the 12 tribes scattered among the nations. Greetings. Consider it pure joy, my brothers and sisters, whenever you face trials of many kinds, because you know that the testing of your faith produces perseverance. Let perseverance finish its work so that you may be made mature and complete, not lacking anything. If any of you lacks wisdom, you should ask God, who gives generously to all without finding fault, and it will be given to you. But when you ask, you must believe and not doubt, because the one who doubts is like a wave of the sea blown and tossed by the wind. That person should not expect to receive anything from the Lord. Such a person is double-minded and unstable in all they do. Believers in humble circumstances ought to take pride in their high position, but the rich should take pride in their humiliation, since they will pass away like a wildfire. For the sun rises with scorching heat and withers the plant. Its blossom falls and its beauty is destroyed. In the same way, the rich will fade away even while they go about their business. Blessed is the one who perseveres under trial, because having stood the test, that person will receive the crown of life that the Lord has promised to those who love him. When tempted, no one should say, God is tempting me, for God cannot be tempted by evil, nor does he tempt anyone. But each person is tempted when they are dragged away by their own evil desire and enticed. Then, after desire has conceived, it gives birth to sin, and sin, when it is full grown, gives birth to death. Don't be deceived, my dear brothers and sisters. Every good and perfect gift is from above, coming down from the Father of the heavenly lights, who does not change like shifting shadows. He chose to give us birth through the word of truth, that we might be a kind of first fruits of all he created. My dear brothers and sisters, take note of this. Everyone should be quick to listen, slow to speak, and slow to become angry, because human anger does not produce the righteousness that God desires. Therefore, get rid of all moral filth and the evil that is so prevalent, and humbly accept the word planted in you, which can save you. Do not merely listen to the word and so deceive yourselves. Do what it says. Anyone who listens to the word but does not do what it says is like someone who looks at his face in a mirror and after looking at himself goes away and immediately forgets what he looks like. But whoever looks intently into the perfect law that gives freedom and continues in it, not forgetting what they have heard, but doing it, they will be blessed in what they do. Those who consider themselves religious and yet do not keep a tight rein on their tongue deceive themselves, and their religion is worthless. Religion that God our Father accepts as pure and faultless is this: to look after orphans and widows in their distress, and to keep oneself from being polluted by the world. These are two of my favorite verses in this one.
Okay, what did you like first?
Consider it pure joy, my brothers and sisters, when we face trials of many kinds, because you know that the testing of your faith produces perseverance. Let perseverance finish its work so that you may be mature and complete, not lacking anything.
I heard that verse too.
That's that verse. I love this Bible because it's two versions. This is NIV and KJV on both sides. The KJV version says, "Count it all joy when you fall into diverse temptations, knowing this, that the trying of your faith worketh patience. But let patience have her perfect work, that ye may be perfect and entire, wanting nothing."
I like that verse. That one really spoke to me.
Girl, that's one of those verses.
Before I started getting into my religion or getting closer to God, and I think at that time I was going through something personal, and I think what I thought was, I think I was mad at God. I was, because I'm like, God, how did you let this happen to me? Why did you let this happen to me? You're supposed to be God, right? So you let only good things happen. And then as I started getting into the word, the word itself said, God never said he was not going to let anything bad happen to you. He just said he was going to be with you when it did happen. He was going to be able to sustain you. So once I got out of that, oh God, you let this happen to me, or God, how could you be this type of God? I stopped being mad at him and more of like understanding and appreciative that I sought that out to understand that God didn't let anything happen to me. God was never not with me. He told me that this was going to happen, but because I was so ignorant of the word and to him, no, seriously, that's really what it was. Because it's like you think that God is like just this gracious God that only good things is going to come from him.
Yeah.
And when things don't happen, you start questioning your faith. You start questioning all that you grew up in. And that's what I was doing. I was in this dark place, and I'm like, God, I'm mad at you. I went silent with God. I stopped praying. I stopped talking to him because I was mad at him. Because it's like, how could you let something bad like this happen to me? I try to be good. I try to be kind. I try to do what I want others to do to me. And this still happened. So I went silent and I was mad. I'm not happy to say that.
It's okay.
I'm able to admit that and where it came from. Just like ignorance of not knowing that it said that in the word that things were going to happen, trials and tribulations, and this was going to happen to you. But if you like follow me, follow my word, I'm going to be with you and guide you so that when you come out of it, you're not going to look like what you just been through. And you're going to have a stronger faith and, like you said, more perfect and more mature in your faith. So.
And I think that's one of the biggest blessings. Because I think everyone has that point in their life where they've been just angry with God because you start to look back. And I think for me, it wasn't that transition of like really going into adulthood, of going away to college, being on my own, and having the first opportunity ever to really process my life and everything that I went through. Yeah. And I was sitting in that, and I was like, God, like there's just no way. Like that's it's not fair. Yeah. It's not fair. You got all these people out here cutting up, doing whatever they want to do, and here I am, trying to be this holy person, and you still let all that happen to you. So coming out of that and just learning not to be selfish, because I think that's where it comes from, like a selfish and a prideful place to where you feel you are so worthy of just goodness. Like everybody else in the world can suffer God, but not me.
Right, because I did what you did. Like I grew up in church, I grew up being following the rules, like doing what I'm supposed to do. Literally. All of this good stuff, and it's like you still let bad things happen. Oh yeah. It also comes from like the lack, like I said, the ignorance, the lack of like what the word says. And when you go into the word, it's like, oh, you shut me up. Yeah, and I think that's where the foundation of intimacy really comes into. That's why I like, to be frank, like when I really started getting to like intimacy with God and getting to know him, and now I'm excited to run home and get in my word and all these things. I used to hate when people would say like, oh, you're so religious, like, oh, you're a religious person, I didn't know you were religious, and it would trigger me because I'm like, like no, like I'm not religious. And I've had to learn when people don't understand something, they have to call it a name, and that's the name that they give it. It's religious because they don't understand it. Right. Because for me, it's not religion, it's relationship. Right. It's me getting an opportunity to spend with my father, my counselor, my friend, and to dive into just being in his presence. It's like when somebody's married and they're like, girl, you coming? Like, no, I'm finna go be with my man. Like, I'm going to be that's how I feel at work, because I eat healthy. So every time somebody's like, oh, Walker, because if we go by last names, they be like, oh, Walker, you on a diet? No, this is my lifestyle. This is my healthy lifestyle. And they think of it as, oh, you don't have nothing to eat. You're not eating nothing. That's all you're eating. And no, it's portion control. It's me taking care of my body. And it's like you said, when people don't know or they're ignorant, they call it a name. And it's like, it seems like it has a negative connotation to it because they're not in it or they're not doing it. And it's like, no, this is a healthy lifestyle that we should all be indulging in. But you want to call it a diet. What's
the word? No, the word is, I hate the word because whenever I hear it, I'm like, oh, you just don't know. Coincidence. I hate it. Like when I really
or it's the universe.
Yes, when I started to recognize what people meant, I'm like, oh, you're tripping. Like you're actually losing your mind, because coincidence is when people notice the hand of God moving, and instead of saying like, wow, God, you're so good and that's nothing but God. Just coincidence.
Oh, that was the universe.
No.
The universe lined it all up for me. No, that was in over to God. That was like, God did. God did.
Literally. And there's some people, like I was dating this guy, and that was like one of the first real conversations that we had, about religion and this relationship with God and like where he was. Because, it's like, if you're not a man of God, there's nothing for us to talk about. Right. But we wanted to say, he's saying like, and he's like, no, he's an atheist. Like he doesn't believe in God. He believes in a higher power, all these things. And I'm trying to get to like the nitty gritty. Like, where does this come from? Like, what's going on? Like, because I'm at the point in my life, I'm 26. There's been so many times, like even looking back, where sometimes I have revelations of moments where God spoke to me, but I didn't know it was him at the time. and he'll bring it back in like flashes, and I'm just like, wow, God, like you're so good. So I'm like, I'm 26, like you're older than me. He was like 29. I'm like, it's no way, like your whole life he's just been silent. Like there's just no way. And so I'm talking to him about this, and he was like, yeah, oh yeah, I see him move all the time. And I was baffled. I'm like, what do you mean you see him? So you see him move all the time. You see how he's moving and working in your life, and you still just don't want to surrender and to submit to him. And I was just trying to figure. I'm like, why? Like, where's the root of that? And this man, you want to know what this man said? He said autonomy.
Oh.
I said, let me get that. I said, thank you so much. Like that's I'm gonna get things serious, because that just means that you don't want to submit.
Yeah.
You're a man and you want to lead from your own ego, from your own pride.
I was gonna say when you were saying that, I'm like, it seems like he doesn't want anything else to be in control of him.
Yes.
He has like a problem with like control and authority, but that's God. Yes. God is control. God is the power. God is authority.
Yes, and the biggest thing with God is free will. He lets you choose whether you want. That's why there's certain songs that says, "Open doors in my heart, Lord, I want to see you." Like you're giving God permission to come into your life and to do a movement. If you never give him permission, he won't come. He's a gentleman. Yeah. He's not just gonna buy like, oh no, you
let me in. I know where I'm supposed to be.
Literally.
Like, not even knocking. I'm just opening up the door.
Then you would resent him. Can you imagine if all your life God is just like, no, like it's like an overbearing parent to where it's like, no, my child's not gonna do that, and then you start to resent them because you're like, oh, like you think you can just run everything, versus actually diving into a relationship and getting to know him and wanting him there. It's like, no, God, I need you.
We're forced to go to church. Our parents just wake us up like early morning service, 7:30, and you in church like, dang, my mama woke me up. So then you don't really, that's why I don't really know the Bible. Like when it comes to like stories, is because I was always forced to go when I was younger. So rather like wanting to be there and like paying attention, I'm sleepy, I'm tired, I'm hungry, I'm ready to go home after. And now that I get older and no one's forcing me to go, or no one's making me get up, it's like, oh, I want this for myself.
Yeah, that's so good.
Yeah,
it just feels so good.
Yeah,
like literally, it's like chasing. You're chasing after God
without no one wanting it for you, no one forcing you to go get it. Yeah.
But I do think what parents do is intentional.
Yeah.
Because it's putting you in the room. Because growing up, like that was my life. Going to church every Sunday. So when I grew up, like when I was in college and I would go through hard things, my default was
that's your foundation.
Yes.
It builds the foundation, but it makes you, that foundation makes you want to go seek it for yourself instead of someone making you go seek it. Yeah.
And it was important for that foundation to be there, because I could have turned to many other things. And I did for a little bit. Like I was smoking heavy, drinking heavy, and it was just like, oh, this is just life, this is what we do. The whole time.
Or it makes me feel good. Or it makes me feel better. Or it relaxes me.
Yes.
And that's when you find your like coping mechanisms and relaxing with other like worldly things.
Yes.
And then when you finally realize like, oh, it's God.
Whole time you're just masking your pain because you don't even realize that it's there. You're just going through life numb.
Yeah.
Just trying to numb everything. So I think it's important for parents, because the Bible says, raise up a child in a way that should be raised, and he'll never forget. Because he won't. Literally, I remember like my first time like going through college, I'm crying out, and I'm just like, I'm just gonna talk to God. Like, it's nobody else.
You want to seek out your own. Like when we were in college, we wanted to seek out our own church home, find our own church that resonated with what we grew up with, or like the church home that was similar to what we grew up with. Yeah.
Yes, and I think it's important. I think all of those are like different seeds that God's plans throughout your life, with Him talking to you. And you know what? Everybody is different. Like the way I've been getting like all these prophetic messages and words now, it seems like get those when they're like 10 years old, 5 years old, 12, you know. So I think it's just wherever God wants for you to be in certain seasons, and it's all intentional, because a lot of like my testimonies from before I got to this point are important, because I get to share those experiences with people, let them know, you know, I've been there too, and that's something that God can bring out. He can do anything because He's God. So yeah,
that's good.
Another one I really liked in this chapter was this one been on repeat. 19. My dear brothers and sisters, take note of this. Everyone should be quick to listen, slow to speak, and slow to become angry.
Yeah, I highlighted that too.
Literally, it's in my mind like this. I really, it's okay.
I need to work on that.
It's so hard.
I gotta work. It's so hard. That is something that I'm guilty of. I'm quick to speak. Like even when it comes to like intimate relationships, and that's something that I'm like in right now, this whole like talking to a guy, and his whole thing with me is, you don't listen. I cut him off all the time. He was like, I cut him off all the time. And he says, I listen to respond. Yeah. And I don't listen to take it in. And I'm like, oh wow, I need to work on that.
Yeah. And I think that's just all about quickness. Because when you take the time to actually digest what somebody's saying, you get to really take it and then
process
respond. Not from a place of just like, oh, just to say, oh, I'm just,
Or like emotional.
Yeah.
Because when you're so quick to speak, that means you already like had like this preconceived, like you already knew what you was thinking before.
Well, I never said that.
Regardless of what that person was gonna say, you already said, this is what I'm gonna go in and say. Instead of listening and realize like, oh, okay, well maybe I don't have to say that anymore because they understood what I was saying or they understood how I felt. But I already came in emotional instead of being like, okay, you know what, let me just take the emotion out of it and then listen.
Slow down. Any from this chapter?
Yeah, I'm off at 5. If any of you lacks wisdom, let him ask God, who gives generally to all without reproach, and it will be given. But let him ask in faith with no doubting, for the one who doubts is like a wave of the sea that is driven and tossed by the wind. That one really sat with me because I'll pray, I'll ask, but I'm still anxious.
Yeah.
But I'm still anxious and I'm still doubting and I'm still like scared. And it's like, well, if you're gonna ask God and you're gonna like talk to God, I'm always like, okay, I'm gonna give it to God. It's in God's hands now. But it's still in the back of my hand. I got my little pinky stuff. I done took my hands off, but I still want to tip of my pinky in it. And it's like, you're still doubting. You can't have faith and fear in the same. But that's me. Like, I'm like faith and fear, faith and fear. Like, sometimes it's more faith and more fear, more faith. Like, it's like that back and forth that I go through.
I love that verse. I have that verse on my vision board. And I think that verse for me is just a reminder of how faith works. Because faith without works is dead. And so, depending on what it is that I'm asking God for, some things I have no part in. It's just a matter of like, God, what do you want me to do, left to right? And then I turn left, and now I'm just waiting. Now I'm just waiting on the move of God. And so I think this verse has just taught me to just be strengthened in my decision and to know that God is with me in my decision because I'm seeking Him in that, as I'm doing it. And I think that anxiety comes from the quickness. And trying to move and trying to
like not knowing what's next. Like knowing or having your own plan and wanting to go this way, but it's not going the way you wanted to go, and you going to God and it's like, God, I thought I was gonna be here by this time and I'm not. And so you ask Him, and it's like still the anxiousness of it.
There's a verse in this chapter I can't wait for us to get to it so I can really go into it. But it says something along the lines of the one. Don't say today we will do this or that. Instead, you ought to say, if it's the Lord's will, we will do this or that. And that was my grandparents' like favorite verse. Like growing up, anything else, I'm gonna go to the park if God's willing. If God's like they embedded that to the point now when I'm talking to my friends, I'm like, they're like, oh, are you gonna come? I was like, yeah, God willing. And they'll be annoyed, and I'm like, no, like it's biblical.
Like God willing. Like that's what God's will for me is. I will be there, and if not, I won't be there because that's when it's not His plan.
Literally. And I think that's the biggest thing in the faith walk is trusting Him to put me in the right place at the right time instead of leaning on my own will of what I would want it to be. And that's when the full release comes. Because like you said, you act like you get God, but your pinky is still on it. And I think that's that. I think anxiety is that fight between like flesh and spirit.
And letting go completely and knowing like, okay, I can't control it.
Yes. And when you walk in that peace, like when you really sit in it of like God, like I'm God's daughter and He's not gonna allow any harm to come to me, He's gonna not let any blessing pass me by, you literally just like
it's okay, God. I'm gonna let you heal. Sit back, I'm trusting you.
And people are gonna try to bring anxiety onto you because people are so worldly and they don't realize it because that's what they're in, that's what they're used to. Like some of my friends, they're like, oh, you're getting paid how much at your job? Oh, that's a good job. You should never leave that job. Like, And mind you, they're trying to offer me a raise. They're trying to increase my title. They're like worldly things, worldly blessings versus me knowing that's
not where I'm supposed to be, or that's not my purpose. That's not where I'm destined to be.
Come on.
Same for where I'm at too. Like, they're like, oh, it's an easy job. You get paid good money. You're gonna be taking a pay cut, and it's like, but that's not where I'm supposed to be.
Come on.
There's no peace here. Like I'm not peaceful here. It's like shaking up because God is saying you're not supposed to be here, regardless of all the things that you're experiencing, the people that you're meeting. You're still not supposed to be here.
Yeah, and I think that's one of His biggest blessings is letting you thrive outside of His will, still allowing you to function in a way. Because if He wanted to, He could really just like, fire her today, fire her right now today because she's not listening, she's not even gonna be here. But no, He's gonna let you sit in it for as long as you want, and then you're gonna start to feel that discomfort to where you're like, okay, no, I gotta get up out of here, and I don't need God to keep. It's like a child. Like maybe I'll be talking to myself, I'll be like, God, all right, like I'm acting like with my students. Like how many times you gotta tell me the same thing before I finally like, okay, I'm gonna do it.
Right. Or like also sometimes you have to sit in it until it's your time.
Oh yeah.
until it's not your time, until it's his time. And then it's like, okay, you ask God, like, how much longer, God, I'm being patient. And he's telling you, as long as I need you to be patient, I'm going to step in when I said I'm going to step in. So.
It'd be so hard. But that verse, I love that verse. It reminds me, and I think that's one of the biggest things about verses. Like, I would call them sometimes my fight verses. Of like, I'm going through something, I'm in a situation, a verse that I'm just going to keep repeating in my mind until I have it embedded in my spirit, and now my spirit responds from it. One of my favorite verses is right there. For God does not give us a spirit of fear, but of power, of love, and of a sound mind. Yeah. Anytime I'm doing something with like speaking or being recorded for something, and everybody's like, goes, "Oh, are you nervous? You're not nervous. Why you did such a great job?" I'm like, no, like before everything, that is my verse. For God does not give us a spirit of fear, but of power, of love, and of a sound mind. And I just go into it because I know that God placed me there, and I know any knowledge and thing I have to speak, He's gonna place it right. It's just gonna flow. Like I don't have to like, oh, hold on, guys, let me get my flashcards. No, like I'm just speaking because that's just good. God. Like
that's good.
Girl.
That's really good.
Yeah. So you gotta find your fight verse. That me and that verse, we've been locked in for years. Like that, I remember when I first found it, I was like, oh, okay. Because I used to be so scared and so timid and so like, oh, like no, like you need to be bold. You need to be bold and you need to be loud. And in your being bold, you're giving. One of my favorite is a poem, Deepest Fear. You've probably seen it in the movie Coach Carter.
Oh yeah.
I love that poem.
I like that. That was a good movie.
Man. It says, our deepest fear is not that we are inadequate. Our deepest fear is that we are powerful beyond measure. It is our light, not our darkness, that most frightens us. We ask ourselves, who am I to be brilliant, gorgeous, talented, fabulous? Actually, who are you not to be? You are here for a reason. Your playing small does not serve the world. There's nothing enlightened about shrinking so that other people won't feel insecure around you. Wow. We are born to make manifest the glory that is within us. It's in everyone, and as we let our light shine, we unconsciously give others the permission to do the same. As we are liberated from our own fear, our presence automatically liberates others. I'm very full in the sun.
That's beautiful.
Girl. To go fight, I'm like, oh no, I got. So when I seen the rest, I was like, oh my God.
That's good.
So beautiful. But yeah, like you gotta, wherever God puts you, it's intentional. So there's no need to be shy or timid because now you're not blessing someone else. Any other ones left in one?
22. But be doers of the word and not hearers only, deceiving yourselves. For if anyone is a hearer of the word and not a doer, he is like a man who looks intently at his natural face in the mirror. For he looks at himself and goes away and at once forgets what he is like. The one who looks into the perfect law, the law of the liberty and preserves, being no hearer who forgets, but a doer who acts, he will be blessed in his doing. I like that one.
That's beautiful. That will always forget me because it's like I would never walk up to a mirror and forget myself. So it's like.
So the sin of partiality. My brothers, show no partiality as you hold the faith in our Lord Jesus Christ, the Lord of glory. For if a man wearing a gold ring and fine clothing comes into your assembly, and a poor man in shabby clothing also comes in, and if you pay attention to the one who wears the fine clothing and say, you sit here in a good place, while you say to the poor man, you stand over there, or sit down at my feet, have you not then made distinctions among yourselves and become judges with evil thoughts? Listen, my beloved brothers, has not God chosen those who are poor in the world to be rich in faith and heirs of the kingdom, which he has promised to those who love him? But you have dishonored the poor man. Are not the rich the ones who oppress you and the ones who drag you into court? Are they not the ones who blaspheme an honorable name by which you were called? If you really fulfill the royal law according to the scripture, you shall love your neighbor as yourself. You are doing well. But if you show partiality, you are committing sin and convicted by the law as transgressors. For whoever keeps the whole law but fails in one point has become guilty of all of it. Wow. For he who said, do not commit adultery, also said, do not murder. If you do not commit adultery, but do murder, you have become a transgressor of the law. So speak and so act as though who are to be judged under the law of the liberty. For judgment is without mercy to one who has shown no mercy. Mercy triumphs over judgment. Faith without work is dead. What good is it, my brothers, if someone says he has faith but does not have the works? Can that faith save him? If a brother or sister is poorly clothed and lacking in daily food, and one of you says to them, go in peace, be warmed and filled, without giving them the things needed for the body, what good is that? So also, faith by itself, if it does not have works, is dead. But someone will say, you have faith and I have the works. Show me your faith apart from your works, and I will show you my faith by my works. You believe that God is one. You do well. Even the demons believe and shudder. Do you want to be shown, you foolish person, that faith apart from work is useless? Was not Abraham, our father, justified by works when he offered up his son Isaac on the altar? You see that faith was active along with his works, and faith was completed by his works. And the scripture was fulfilled that says, Abram believed God, and it was counted to him as righteousness, and he was called a friend of God. You see that a person is justified by works and not by faith alone. And in the same way was not also Rahab, the prostitute, justified by works, when she received the messengers and sent them out by another way. For as the body apart from the spirit is dead, so also faith apart from the works is dead. That's it. Good.
I love what it said about verse 5. Has not God chosen those who are poor in the eyes of the world to be rich in faith and to inherit the kingdom he promised those who love him? It reminds me of the verse that said, be careful because sometimes you are entertaining angels without knowing. And I think sometimes the angels that God blesses us to have encounters with are people who won't look like what we think.
Yeah.
They probably would be a homeless person or someone who might be annoying or triggering, and I think that that's intentional with God to really test our hearts and to see, what's hidden there. Yeah. Because the Bible says, out of the abundance of the heart, the mouth speaks. I think sometimes God puts us in different encounters and situations with people to test our hearts and to see, what is your true character? Who are you in essence, like at your core? When it gets rough and when it's, when it doesn't look like what you want it to look like, who do you become? Yeah. And I think that's why it's important to just be the same person in all situations and to all people, and to always have the fruit with us, because you literally met.
And you never know, you might be missing out on your blessing.
Man.
Like as females, when we say we have a type, and we always go for our type, but then our type is like, I guess in this example, maybe the rich man in clothing, and he's in gold. So we like, oh, come over here. Come over here. Talk to me. Let me get your number. And then a quote-unquote poor man comes up to us, or maybe guys that's not as attractive, and he's not our type, or he's not that tall, muscular, but he's a little bit more, not so easy on the eyes. We kind of like, no, I'm good. I got a boyfriend. But then, like, when we grow out of like our type, because I feel like I've grown out of me having a type.
Yeah.
And then you realize that your type wasn't even what God sent for you. God wanted you to have. But the one you looked at for the first time, oh, that was a man of God. Yeah. That man was gentle. That man was kind. That man was everything. But because you were so focused on, fixated on your type, you missed out on what God was trying to bless you with.
That's so beautiful. I never thought about it like
that.
Yeah. And I think that goes back with what we were talking about in James 1 about when I mentioned the verse where, it's not in James 1, but it's in James, the verse where he says, don't say we will do this or that, but if we will say Lord willing. Yeah. Because I think as we mature in the spirit, God changes our type. Mm-hmm. And that's in everything. He changes our taste in, the kind of careers we want to do, the type of people we want to be around. It's like he takes us to like a pruning process. Mm-hmm. And he's kind of shedding our leaves and old things to create a space for a new thing. And at first it's like that friction between flesh and spirit. It's like, oh Lord, like hold on, I don't want to let this go. I think it was kind of a little comfortable. It's a little cold out here. But I think that's so intentional because like you're saying, like you never know what you're missing out on just based on like the superficial things that you're not willing to let go of. Or the superficial things within yourself. Yeah. Oh. Within yourself. Because at first when we're like younger, like in our early 20s, 19, 20, we're not even focused on the mind or the heart. We're focused on the exterior. Low hanging fruit. Yeah. I heard somebody say it. It was so beautiful. He was doing like a happy birthday post to his girl, and he was like, the things that you guys see about her are literally low hanging fruit. Yeah. And I was like, my God, like I've never seen a man be so like. That's good. And he just went on to say she's this, she's that. And I was just like, everything that you would think would be the reason why I'm with her is like the last thing. Yeah. I was like, oh, he's in love. Yes. Like, it was so beautiful. It is. It's so beautiful. And honestly, as I'm maturing now, like it just makes me think deeper. Like I think about it all the time. I kid you not. I think from the time I was a child, I remember when my parents first separated, and I was crying. And my mom's like, "Why are you crying?" And I said, "My kids aren't gonna have a grandpa." Like literally, I was already locked in. I was like, it's not about me. Like my kids are gonna be like, "Oh, where's it?" Like that was something what I was thinking about. And I'm like 8, 9 years old. So now that I'm older, I'm thinking about it in the same deep way of like when I have my husband. The last thing I need is for my daughter, my son, my children to come to me and say, "Mommy, why did you pick him as my father?" Do you know the
hit me in the car. Mommy, where your standards at? Mommy, have you no standards? No, seriously though. Yes.
I think about that all the time because it's a thing. It's a real reality because what I choose is gonna be the fruit.
And the answers, the questions you have to answer to later.
Man, Mommy, why? Like, and I'm not gonna have nothing to say.
Right.
I'm not gonna have. I want to be able to look at my kids and say, I waited
proud.
well. I waited well for this man of God that you have as your father. And in the same way that I waited, I want you to do that same way. And I want you to see how he loves me and how he cares for me, and to know that God has that same thing for you as well. And that there's nothing that you ever have to settle for. You don't have to settle, not in a man, not in a job, not in a house, not literally anything.
Don't go for the looks. Looks are good, but they're not important.
Man, you gotta look at the fruit.
Yeah.
And I want to touch on one thing because looks are not important as in they are low-hanging fruit, but I do think that God cares about the things that you desire. I don't think God is
for sure.
Yes.
But when I mean like looks, I mean like not my type was tall, dark skin with a beard, and he got to be muscular. So if he not tall, dark skin with a beard, and not muscular, or he not my type, so I don't want him. But it's like, what if he's tall? What if he's brown skin? What if he's like, stuff like that? You so fixated on this one type that it's like it's still a type that you can have. He can be attractive to you, but it doesn't have to be the one that you said.
Yes, and you have to trust. And I think that's where I am with God. Of like, I give you my everything. Right? I give you whatever, any area. Go ahead. Because before, honestly, to be frank, with like relationships, I used to be like, okay, God. Like let me, you know, like you don't know.
Let me handle it. You don't know what I want. You don't know what I'm thinking.
Let me handle it. All right, like hold on. Like,
you can help me in other aspects.
No,
but I got this one, coach. You sit on the sidelines.
Literally, and God just kept telling me like, no, this way, more. And I think He's been so intentional in my singleness season because I've had so much. Like when I tell you, it was me, Lord. Like. To the point where my knowledge, like it surprises me, to be frank. Like sometimes when I'm talking, you know how I just go, oh, do you know this story? And it's like I don't sit and think like, oh, I'm sad, God, and I'm single, and I'm gonna recite this story to someone when they're in another season. It wasn't like that. It was just a thing of like, okay, God, it's just me and you, and that's always gonna be.
So what do you want me to do?
Literally. And I think that's intentional because now when I go into my covenant with my husband, my man of God, that same pouring, that same foundation that I have, I'm going to be able to pour that into him in the same way he has
pour it into you. Yeah, 9. So it started off by saying, but if you show partiality, you are committing sin and are convicted by the law of transgressors. For whoever keeps the whole law but fails in one point has become guilty of all of it. So that kind of made me skip to the whole faith without works is dead. You can't be one without the other. The whole like transgression thing there. Like if you have faith but you're not putting in the work, then you're not really committing to the whole. Like you're not committing to the whole law of itself. Or if you have work with no faith, you're not committed to the whole. So you have to have. They have to go hand in hand, together.
It's with obedience too. Because you can't. It's not. It's really like the story in First Kings. He did what God said, but he didn't do it how God said to do it.
Right.
And even in the story of Moses. When Moses wasn't allowed to go into the promised land, it's because he wasn't obedient. God told him to speak to the rock, and instead of speaking to it, he was fussed it. And I'm not gonna lie, afterwards, because some people, they were getting on my nerves, and I'm just reading about it because they all complain this. So I understand. I'm not gonna lie. I was like, whatever. But instead of speaking to the rock, he hid it. And the miracles came out. There was still water that flowed, but God literally told him, because you were not obedient, you will not get to go into the promised land. And now, and that's what makes me always think about this verse. I think it's 8. No, in chapter 1, the be quick to listen and slow to anger, because I think anger is what stops a lot of people from walking into their blessings.
Right.
Because your emotions are so.
Get the best of you.
Man, they're so powerful, but they're so temporary. They're like waves. Like waves. The one who doubts is like a wave.
Secondary reaction.
Literally. So you have to not be so rash and so quick when you're angry, especially because now you're gonna block yourself from walking into something that God just 5 minutes.
Let me just take a second.
Man.
Let me step back.
Man.
Let me just step in and give to God instead of me trying to take it myself and respond to myself. Yeah.
It's hard. It's so hard, but it's fruitful because it teaches you to have a character that's like God, like Jesus. That's always the goal for me every day. I want to be more like
Jesus. You can't fight every battle.
Man, I want to be more like Jesus. I'm like, okay, God, here, take it.
Yeah. I can't respond to everything. Everybody who crosses me sideways or have a little slick reaction or slick comment, I can't respond to everyone.
Man.
I gotta know when it's like, you know what? I know I'm not gonna have nothing nice to say. I'm not gonna say nothing. No, for real, because you come across those encounters all the time where it's you're just quiet, minding your own business, and someone comes and says something out of the way, and it's like,
and look, those are all tests.
What did I do?
Those are all tests.
Well, I was just over here minding my own business, and I come across that so many times at work. Like, I feel like I'm faced with that so many times, and I'm working with deputies, and a lot of the times they respond in ways like someone has told me, Walker, you have the patience of Job, because the way I respond to them, like the way they respond and the way I respond, I don't even take it personal.
Yes.
The way they respond, they will say, oh, you're not going to get an extra meal. I'm not about to feed you. I'm not about to give you nothing that you're asking for, all because you said this to me 10 minutes ago.
Yeah.
And when they ask me, I'm like, here you go. Like, I'm here to do my job. Like, you're not mad? No, I'm not mad. I can't do anything about it. Like, I'm not going to take it out of you.
Come on. The fruit of the Spirit is patience.
Yeah.
That's so good. The same with me in my job. Literally, that's the number one compliment I always get. Like, your temperament is so amazing. You are calm in the chaos. I have to be. There's not, literally, it's in the patience, I feel like, goes hand in hand with faith, because there's confidence in God. I know that if I'm in a situation, that God allowed the situation to happen.
Right.
So if I'm sitting here, He's gonna get me out of it. There's nothing that I can do. There's no need to. Okay, I'm
not supposed to fight it in the way I think I should fight
it. Literally, getting that. I need that prayer. I'd be so quick. You see the scene in Mean Girls where she rushes home to go and write in her book. How you feel about it?
Yeah. Or they be quick. The deputies are quick to curse them out and all of that stuff. Lock them up, and I just don't say anything. Like, I don't say a word. I'm like, okay, you have a great night.
Literally.
Have a good night.
The theme for that. I think a lot of people, to be frank, people look for a reaction. They're mad
with
themselves.
They want to see if they can push you.
They're mad with their reality.
Yeah.
They don't.
You know, misery loves company.
Come on.
Misery loves company. So you miserable in this little spot, so you want to put me in the same spot or take it out on me, and I'm not gonna give it. I'm not gonna give you that reaction. I'm sorry.
One of my friends, she's so amazing. I love her. Her name is Lenore. She said, your power is in your response.
Oh, it is.
When you receive something from someone, you have that split second to decide how you're going to respond, and that's where you hold your power.
Because you can't control what you receive, but you can control how you respond.
Man, what I give you back, you gotta take it, and it's not gonna be what you think. And I think that's the best part of self-control, because you have all of the power, and you didn't even ask for it. You just did. You just sit there.
It's coming at you. You don't even know what's about to come at you, but I know how I'm gonna respond to when it comes at me.
Yeah. Chapter 3. Okay. And what I love about the Bible is when, because like it's all letters, so this is all coming from people's hearts. It's when like there's two verses that say like the exact same thing, and it'd be like, like you didn't even know that your homeboy had already said that, and then now you bring it back and you're doubling down on it. Like in the first chapter, the one that says, "Count it all joy, brothers and sisters, when you face trials of many kinds." There's a very similar verse to that. 1 Peter 6:7, it says, "In all this you will greatly rejoice, though now for a little while you may have had to suffer grief in all kinds of trials. These have come so that the proven genuineness of your faith, of greater worth than gold, which perishes even though refined by fire, may result in praise, glory, and honor when Jesus Christ is revealed." Same thing.
Yeah. But that's how it is a lot in the Bible. Things are just like it's repetitive.
I'm
saying the same things, but because I want you to get it. I want it to stick. Like, I'm letting you know. You're going to see this again, so don't forget it. You get it. I'm going to bring it back up again.
Really? That again.
Yeah.
Let's do it again. Okay. This one is titled Taming the Tongue. "Not many of you should become teachers, my fellow believers, because you know that who teach will be judged more strictly. We all stumble in many ways. Anyone who is never at fault in what they say is perfect, able to keep their whole body in check. When we put bits into the mouths of horses to make them obey us, we can turn the whole animal. Or take ships as an example. Although they are so large and are driven by strong winds, they are steered by a very small rudder wherever the pilot wants to go. Likewise, the tongue is a small part of the body, but it makes great boast. Consider what a great force is set on fire by a small spark. The tongue also is a fire, a world of evil among the parts of the body. It corrupts the whole body, sets the whole course of one's life on fire, and is itself set on fire by hell. All kinds of animals, birds, reptiles, and sea creatures are being tamed and have been tamed by mankind. But no human being can tame the tongue. It is a restless evil full of deadly poison. With the tongue we praise our Lord and Father, and with it we curse human beings who have been made in God's likeness. Out of the same mouth come praise and cursing. My brothers and sisters, this should not be. Can both fresh water and salt water flow from the same spring? My brothers and sisters, can a fig tree bear olives or a grapevine bear figs? Neither can a salt spring produce fresh water. Who is wise and understanding among you? Let them show it by their good life, by deeds done in the humility that comes from wisdom. But if you harbor bitter envy and selfish ambition in your hearts, do not boast about it or deny the truth. Such wisdom does not come down from heaven, but is earthly, unspiritual, demonic. For where you have envy and selfish ambition, there you find disorder and every evil practice. But the wisdom that comes from heaven is first of all pure, then peace-loving, considerate, submissive, full of mercy and good fruit, impartial and sincere. Peacemakers who sow in peace reap a harvest of righteousness.
Power of the tongue.
3 is one of the ones. James is like one of my favorite books. I stopped cursing when I read this verse. That's my first high. I'm going to take it to 10. Out of the same mouth come praise and cursing, my brothers and sisters. This should not be. Can both fresh water and salt water flow from the same spring? I used to curse up a storm. It used to just flow. Y'all know what the... So when I started praying, like really praying, and then I'm realizing like God is sending me to pray for people, all these things, I'm like, dang, like, I can't be double-minded. I can't be 1 foot in and 1 foot out. Like, it was giving lukewarm, because it's like, yeah, I want to turn up, I want to have fun, and I want to be this person. But when you need me, God, like, I'm speed out. Put me on speed out. Like, I'm going to pull up and be there. And it's just like, no, like, you can't. Because the fruit that you live, whether you recognize it or not, especially if you're getting into a place where, you know, you're doing a ministry and people are looking upon you, they're not going to say it, but they're going to think that, like, oh, that's the woman of God. Like, that's that.
What a hypocrite.
Oh, she's a Christian? Like, yeah, oh, okay. So that right there, and it's hard, honestly. Sometimes I still slip up and look every time, I'm like, God, I'm sorry. Like, that one, he really pissed me off. Like, I talk to your son, like, they ain't gonna talk to me, but like, your child, like, these kids, like, they're getting, like, come on, you know? But like, that's a daily battle. Daily death to the flesh of like, no, like, I can't. I literally cannot. I think it's Genesis or Exodus. Maybe Exodus. When the people were going through the wilderness, they had to seek daily bread, manna, every single day. They couldn't, it was no fridge, it was no like, oh, I'm just storing this up. It was them seeking God every single day. And I think that's what God desires from us in our walk and in strengthening the relationship is daily sacrifice and daily, because it's like, no matter how much reading I do today, what I do for today is for today. Because come tomorrow, I'm going to need a new refreshing. I'm going to need a new strengthening. And I think that's one of the biggest things I've been working on this season. Like, I want to put God first. Not just first, because, you know, tithing is important, yes. Like, giving God my 10%, the first of my paycheck. We've been struggling with that. I'm like, all right, God. God gonna work with me. No, really, I just got paid, and I was like, no more. I can't be lukewarm no more in this area. Like, it's like I'm giving God everything, and it has to be everything fully. It can't be like, okay, this area, but right here, y'all. We're gonna. Of course, naturally, it's gonna take time. Yeah. Especially when you're used to doing something for a long time. That happens overnight. But it just gets to a point of maturity where God, it's like God inside you, like, girl, now you be for real. Like, I've done so much more. Like, this is a small thing. And so for me, in the cursing, that's a manna. Like, that's like a daily dying and a daily, like, okay, God, like, I'm giving you my all. And I think it's important to start the morning, your first breath, and your first moment with God, because it's gonna carry you the rest of it. Because you don't know, like that's the biggest thing. You don't know
what's happening. You don't know what's to the end of the day.
Man, you know,
and that's sad, but you don't know.
You know, literally, and we be so prideful. Like, yeah, I'm gonna do. I be there at 12:30. God could wreck your whole day. Not even physically, like car accident, but He could just bring so many delays. And even with that, I'm so intentional. Like, I'm paying attention of like, okay, I was supposed to be at this time. Stuff keeps stopping me. Like,
but maybe something God is saving me from something.
Yeah, so I stop. I be like, okay, what do you want to talk about? What do you want me to do right now? Like, what's up? Because it's like, obviously.
Yeah, and you get so frustrated, like, oh my gosh, like, I'm supposed to be here.
Girl.
But it's like, God, what did you save me from?
Yes.
Or thank you for saving me. I don't even know what it was, but you saved me because it could have been me.
Yes. And just learning to just walk at God's face. Like, one of the biggest things for me is water. I love, like, when I open the curtains in the morning and I see water, like, I used to go to, what is it called? River Landing? You know where River Landing is? River Landing is near, I'm so bad. I just know it's called River Landing. It's like a little plaza. Like, they have a Ross, they have a Five Below, they have a Marshall. Like, it's nice. It's like high rise. And they have a Publix as well. And on that first floor is like a waterfront. There's like different restaurants there. And I used to literally just sit and just watch the water. Even, the Kasai Center, the heat city.
Yeah.
Okay, good. Downtown, it's downtown.
Yeah.
All right, you see, I'm
downtown.
So even there, like, to sit and watch the water, because water is, I think, a great teacher of, not flexibility, that's not the word I want to use, adaptability. Because when you're watching the water, it's not rigid. It literally is flowing, and it's allowing whatever comes to just break through. It's not like, okay, God, no, I don't want that job. No, like, it's just, okay.
Just go with the flow.
It's like, all right. So then whenever, like, if I'm having a hard day or something, I literally just sit and I just watch the water, and my God, make me fluid like this. Like, teach me to be flexible to your movement, to your calling, to your will, whatever you want for me to do. I want to be so obedient to where I want to look just like this right here.
That's crazy that you say that, because when I go to the beach, I like to go to the beach, but I go to the beach for silencing the noise in my mind. Because when I go out there, it's like you don't hear anything. Like, all of the thoughts that I was thinking, all of the different what ifs, all of the scenarios, it's like everything just goes quiet, and all I hear is the water.
I love that sound.
It just flows, and it's like, it's so loud, but it's so calming at the same time. So it's like you have no choice but to not listen or think about anything that was just in your head.
Yes, peace be still.
Yeah.
That's what literally,
like,
if water had a phrase.
Silence the noise in my mind. I love that song. That's how I feel when I go to the beach.
Yeah.
Like, God, silence.
I think God is intended. God speaks through nature all the time, like, because He created it. Like, He uses everything, even animals, all these things. So I think it's intentional for Him to even show you the currents and the flow of nature.
And how it can change. Like, it can go from peace to a little chaos.
And how nature is obedient.
Like,
Nature is quick. There's a verse, I love it so much. It says, it's about rain. It says, as the rain falls down from the sky, so it is with my word. It will not return to you void. You see, I'm getting better. I'm like,
you know what I thought of this chapter? The taming of the tongue. And when you said about from the same mouth comes blessing and cursing, and how you don't curse anymore, or like you like been more intentional about not cursing or like slipping up. I kind of looked at this in a different way. I looked at it in more of like figuratively, not literally cursing, but more of how I speak on things in my life. And more of like, okay, I want this to happen, or like I want. Let me try to word this and say it. No like I'm a self-sabotager.
Yeah.
Like I speak, like I feel like I'm a pessimistic person sometimes. So I'd rather say, okay, you know what, this is gonna happen. So when it does happen, I'm not so disappointed, and I was already ready for it to happen.
That's definitely cursing.
Yes. So that's how I took this. Like in my own like personal life, I feel like that's how I curse.
Yeah.
I mean, I curse other ways too.
Yeah. No, I agree.
But no, this is something that I constantly and unfortunately faithfully do. Like I'm constantly like expecting the worst, saying that the worst is gonna happen. So I'm prepared for when it does happen. I was already kind of like pre-grieving for it to happen, or like already preparing for disappointment, So when it does come, it's like, oh, I already knew it was coming.
Do you know what you just said? Pre-grieving.
Yes.
You're pre-grieving a reality that hasn't even come to pass.
And that's my problem.
That hasn't come to pass, and that might not never come to pass. And that's anxiety.
It is.
That's literally anxiety.
You know how anxious I am all the time?
You know, you gotta
I
release
put these
that.
scenarios in my head of what
Have you
could
seen the
happen.
movie? You have to have watched it. I love it. It's my girl, Joy, Anger.
Inside Out?
Yes, you have to watch the second
I watched the
one.
first one.
No, you gotta watch
and
the second one.
I haven't watched the second one, but on TikTok, Pastor Mike Jr., he did a sermon based on Inside Out.
So beautiful.
That snippet that I saw, it was so like.
At the end of the movie, I'm like, bro, whoever was on
that
the
movie
team,
had a message. That movie was like a message from God. I didn't even watch the movie, but when he preached it in that sermon, it was like, wow.
You gotta watch it
tonight.
That's your assignment. You gotta watch it.
I'm gonna watch it tonight. But that's something, and I think one of my favorite verses, I get to say one, because I have one.
Yes!
Ephesians 4,
okay.
verse 29. Pull it up, because it's something similar to this. And that's something like I try to work on. And I think I have been working on that. Like I told myself this year, like I don't want to continue to like speak negative.
Yeah. And like we were saying, daily, it's a daily battle and a daily death to your flesh. There's a book I'm gonna send you. It's on YouTube audio. You can listen to it. It's changed my life. It's called The Game of Life and How to Play It, and it speaks biblical principles and how they come out in real life. And one of the things it talks about is that cursing yourself with your mouth.
Yeah.
And the same thing of not speaking, just because something is a possibility doesn't mean that it's going to become reality. Right. And it's not within your power to bring it to fruition. Yeah. When you speak it, you do
that's
bring it.
the power of the tongue.
Yes.
That's when I realized, like, why am I speaking? It's like, do you want to be happy?
Man.
And if you want to be happy and peaceful, why are you? And that's like, that's what something I've been working on this year. Like, I don't want to continue to self-sabotage or ask for all of these things. And then in the same turn, in the same tongue, I'm gonna say, "Oh, I might not get it." Yeah, oh, they're not gonna hire me.
And the thing with that, the way I think about it, like what's for me is never gonna pass me by. Right. So if I have an opportunity, I'm gonna hope for it with a positive attitude, and then I'm gonna release it. I'm gonna say, "All right, God, like I know you got me, and I know you're not gonna allow me to miss anything." Right. And that's. And if I miss it, that means I didn't miss it. It just was saving for what I was supposed to be, where I'm supposed to be going. Yes, or it's just not for you. Yeah. It's just not for you, and that's okay, because there's always going to be better. And in the better, it might not be better from your lens, from how you see it, but from God, because He sees your whole life and He has everything in His plan. He knows it's better for you because it's going to catapult you into the next. I can only see so far. I can only see what's in this room. Exactly, and that's intentional. That's why it's like a room. Like faith is like you're in a dark room and all you have is a little light, a little candlelight, and all you can see is the next few steps forward. And that's your faith. And all you have to do is just take a little step. All right, God. And you're not by yourself. You might hear other people trying to say, well, you should do this, you should do that. But the only voice that you really need to listen to and to censor is the voice of God. And He's never going to go silent on you. You can silence His voice yourself because you're going to drown that out with your own thoughts and your own beliefs and your own desires. Good for you. And that's where idols come in, because now, we don't call it idols, but they be like, oh yeah, like this man, he's going to do everything for me and he got it figured out and I just trust him. Yeah. It's like, oh, forget God. Yeah. Forget God. You're gonna all that one man. That one man. And not that man. Man. my man, but not that man. That man. Literally. And not even just men. It could even be your parents. Right. It could be your parents. It could be a job. Yeah. It could be your career. It could be your talents, and not even recognizing that this is all gifts from God. Right. And it can't be taken away like that. Okay. It was from Ephesians chapter 4, verse 29. Do not let any this is from the NIV version. Do not let any unwholesome talk come out of your mouth, but only what is helpful for building others up according to their needs, that it may benefit those who listen. And do not grieve the Holy Spirit of God, with whom you were sealed for the day of redemption. Get rid of all the bitterness, rage, and anger, brawling and slander, along with every form of malice. Be kind and compassionate to one another, forgiving each other just as Christ forgave. Beautiful. Yeah. My favorite part about that, those who listen. Because a lot of people, there's a voice. There's a verse, it says, don't cast pearls to swine. And swine back then is pigs. Yeah. So it's saying don't give a valuable thing to something that can't even receive it. Right. And there's another verse that says, if you go to a city and they don't receive you, before you leave, shake the dust off your feet and go on about your business to the next city, because you have to be discerning of your environment and of your crowd. That's why certain people, it's like it's not too many words, it's going to be a response, because I already know your fruits. I already know where you operate from, and I'm not going to waste my breath trying to feed you, and you're not listening, you're not taking heed. So I think that's another important thing, knowing your audience and knowing how to move, but also not letting your audience deter you from just being who you are as well.
So that's it.
Yeah, no, but I love that. I don't literally. I close my eyes. I be for literally sometimes I be like this. I promise you, you have to, because certain situations your mind be like, oh, literally. I go like this and I'm sitting, and if I'm in public, what's wrong?
Or sometimes in that moment, you know how sometimes later on, when you think about it, like a scenario or something that happened, you would have been like, oh, I wish I would have said this and that. But in that moment, you didn't have nothing to say.
Oh, yeah, that's perfect.
That was God.
Literally, I be like,
God saved me, because He knew it was. Man. If you had to think about all the things you would have said, you probably would have went off.
Oh yeah.
But He let you be silent for that exact reason, because He knew what you probably would have said.
Man.
Had you got 1 second to think about it.
He really be saving us, and it's like,
no, for real.
even if it's something good, I'd be like, then that would have been good. I was just it's like, no, like God be like, close your mouth. Like you do too much. Too much
that happens.
Too much that, like, stop. Now you get beside yourself.
Yeah.
Like, girl. I also have 17. But the wisdom that comes from heaven is first of all pure, then peace-loving, considerate, submissive, full of mercy and good of fruit, impartial and sincere. I think honestly the one that stands out the most to me, well, two. I really like two of them the most: considerate and submissive. I feel like those go hand in hand. Especially when you think of like this, honestly, this just makes me think of like a man of God. A man of God and a woman of God, and like creating that perfect covenant.
Yeah.
Because in that perfect covenant, you must be submissive to the man. That's because the man is the one that is going to lead. And it takes me back to the one I was telling about. That's like, what was his word? It was autonomy. Why would I submit to you?
Right. Because I don't know where you're going to lead me.
Man, like you finna take me to whoopie-doo town, and now I'm like, my mind is boggled. I'm not blocking it with God, because you're not a man that's leading from a place of submission to Him. So it's like, it don't make no sense. And considerate, I love considerate, because I think to be considerate is one of the highest forms of like showing love. To consider how someone else is gonna feel, what they're gonna do, what they like.
Even if they're not here,
yes,
and they're not around, how would they feel if I did this or if I didn't do this? Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, warning against worldliness. What causes quarrels and what causes fights among you? Is it not this, that your passions are at war within you? You desire and do not have, so you murder. You covet and cannot obtain, so you fight and quarrel. You do not have because you do not ask. You ask and do not receive because you ask wrongly, to spend it on your own passions. You adulterous people. Do you not know that friendship with this world is enmity with God? Therefore, whoever wishes to be a friend of the world makes himself an enemy of God. Or do you suppose it is to no purpose what the scripture says? He yearns jealously over the Spirit that He has made to dwell in us, but He gives more grace. Therefore it says, God opposes the proud, but gives grace to the humble. Submit yourselves therefore to God. Resist the devil, and he will flee from you. Draw near to God, and He will draw near to you. Cleanse your hands, you sinners, and purify your hearts, you double-minded. Be wretched and mourn and weep. Let your laughter be turned to mourning, and your joy to gloom. Humble yourselves before the Lord, and He will exalt to you. Do not speak evil against one another, brothers. The one who speaks against a brother or judges his brother speaks evil against the law and judges the law. But if you judge the law, you are not a doer of the law, but a judge. There is only one lawgiver and judge, He who is able to save and destroy. But who are you to judge your neighbor? Let's think about tomorrow. Come now, who say, today or tomorrow we will get into such and such a town and spend a year there and trade and make a profit. Yet you do not know what tomorrow will bring. What is your life? For you are a mist that appears for a little time and then vanishes. Instead, you ought to say, if the Lord wills, we will live and do this or that. As it is, you boast in your arrogance. All such boasting is evil. So whoever knows the right thing to do and fails to do it, for him it is a sin. Just talking about that.
That's that verse. That's my grandpa's verse. Ooh, this one is a mouthful.
No, it is.
Honestly, let's just start at number 1.
Right.
I had underlined, don't they come from your desires that battle within you? And I feel that's what we were touching on a little bit.
Right.
Of your own heart's desires always coming out, and that's how you get prideful, and now you feel entitled to having something, and now you get mad at God because he didn't give you what you
Right.
wanted.
Or you wanted it, like you said, wanted it for the wrong reasons.
Mm-hmm.
Or we asking wrongly.
Yeah.
We're not asking it for your, like, let me have this job, or let me be here if it's in your will.
Yeah.
We just say, God, I want to be here.
I want
to be this.
Make it happen.
And that's honestly, I feel like, well, before reading this verse, I've been doing that differently, like praying to God differently.
Yeah.
I've been saying, God, if it's in your will,
Mm-hmm.
let me get this job. Or if it's in your will, move the hearts and like the minds of the people I'm about to enter into this room with.
Come on.
If it's in your will. And I've like, that's been something I've really honestly been doing differently. And I think it makes a difference because I realize I don't want it if it's not in God's will. Seriously, I don't want it if it's not in his will, because if I want it and it's not in his will, that means I might be wanting the wrong things. And I don't even know that I'm wanting the wrong things because I haven't even confirmed with God or even gone to God about it. So why even want it if you haven't gone to God about it?
That's so beautiful. You're in submission.
Yeah.
That's so beautiful.
And I realized, like, if I haven't asked God, if I probably would have like took things before I was ready for it.
Mm-hmm.
Like for the whole job thing, I may have applied because I've been like, God, get me out of this place that's so far, 45 minutes to an hour. And if I wanted it so bad and I was so desperate for it, I probably would have went to probably the hospital or Baptist, which is even further, because I wanted it when I wanted it. I just wanted to get out of there so bad.
Mm-hmm.
Instead of waiting, being patient. And God said, if you wait just a couple more months, I'm gonna bring you close to home.
Yeah.
And you don't even have to worry about it. Just be like patient, like let it be done in my will and not say the first thing. And some people be like, oh, if it's whatever the first opportunity is, take it. I was telling them, like, they was like, oh, you just need to get your foot in, get your foot in, get your foot in. And I've been like canceling that out because I don't want to just get my foot in. I don't want to just go to the first opportunity. Because what if God has not blessed that for me? And y'all just saying, go get your foot in because you just want experience in the hospital. I don't want to just go to any hospital, any floor, because I might be a labor and delivery nurse, and God don't even want that for me. But just because it's that opportunity or the first exposure or the first door that opened. So I've been really like, this has been going on since August. And now, just now, December, I'm hearing back that in January, I'm going to be exactly where God wants me to be, exactly where I asked to be 2 years ago when I first graduated college.
Come on.
This is where I wanted to be 2 years ago. And I'm here.
And how does it feel?
It feels like all of that waiting and like asking God, like, when is it going to be my turn? Or like, why is it not my turn yet? And it's like, he's telling me it was going to always be your turn, just not on your time. And I needed you to see that you are going to be in great opportunities. You're going to be in great blessings. But you just need to wait until I open it for you. Stop trying to open the can without me opening. It's not going to open. It's not going to work. You're going to struggle. You're going to be frustrated, and you might throw it and you might give up on it.
Yeah.
And that's what he's been telling me. Like, just wait. Be patient. Ask me why you're here. Ask me. Like, be humble and ask me what you're supposed to be learning right now. Instead of being so frustrated with me. God has taught me patience. No, seriously, God has literally taught me patience and submission in this season. And I didn't even realize why he was teaching me that. But he's taught me in the way I interact with the inmates, in the way I'm like faced with the facility staff. It's like all of it is patience. All of it is like, how are you going to be ready for this blessing? What are you going to do to prepare yourself? Like, come to me and I'm going to show you, and I'm going to put you in a season for as long as you need to be here.
I'm so excited for you.
I am. I'm excited.
It's such a beautiful revelation when you understand the intention of the timing of God. So
Right.
Because one of my favorite verses, Isaiah 60:22, it says, "At the right time, I, the Lord, will make it happen." Literally, when I found that verse, that's one of the verses I'm holding on to.
Yeah.
I'm like, ooh, okay. Okay, that means if it's not happening today, it
wasn't the right time, or it wasn't what God wanted you. Well, it's not blessed by God.
Come on.
Because if it was, He would have made it happen, and would it happen
with ease? And that's the biggest thing I've noticed with God. God's things always come with ease. When I'm trying to wait, no, but what if maybe I can squeeze in? Maybe it's like, no, like babe, let it go, let it go.
Like if you confused and you're not at peace,
Man.
and you fighting, or you trying to put your best to make it work, it's not working. Stop trying to make the puzzles fit. It's the wrong. You got the wrong pieces. Seriously, because we do that a lot in a lot of instances, whether it's even like intimate relationships, friendships. We try to make stuff work because we want it to work. And if it's not working, you need to figure out, why am I trying to make it work, and look at why it's not working.
Yeah. And you gotta understand it.
Maybe it's not your time.
God's time is so intricate. I don't feel like I even have the words to go into depth of His heart and His mind for us. There's another verse. I know you know it's one of the big ones. Everybody knows Jeremiah 29:11.
I know the plans.
Come on.
The Lord.
Plans to prosper you,
not to harm you.
And when I went into that, because I love words, I love knowing this objective definition of words. Harm is intentional. That's why there's different degrees of murder. There's first degree, murder, second degree, because the intent matters. If I'm planning something, that's full on harm. I'm going out of my way to make sure.
I want it to be perfect. When I hurt you, I want it to be perfect, strategic.
I want to know where you stand.
I put it all on the table. Yeah. I done took the pictures. I done mapped it down.
And that's even that word choice. I was like, wow, God, you're so intentional for the plans I have for you. I know them, and they're not to harm you. That means if I'm sitting in something and I'm hurting, it's not God's intent to hurt me, but there's a pruning, there's a process that I have to go through, and there's something in the pain. I have to ask myself, why is this hurting me?
Right. What am I supposed to be getting from this pain? You're not supposed to just get us from pain.
Man,
God will put you through pain for no reason.
It's all a
Everything
lesson.
is just intentional.
And the biggest thing with His lessons is maturity. You have to be mature enough and humble enough to sit back and to seek God and to say, Father, what is it in this season that you want me to hold on to? Who are you allowing me to become as I'm walking through this valley? Though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil because I know you're with me. So in that knowing, now there has to be a new confidence. I was like, was that there before?
No, I put it because I didn't realize what the pillow said. I'm like, I want this pillow.
No, literally.
I need to be able to give it to God and just go to sleep.
James 5. Warning to rich oppressors. Now listen, you rich people, weep and wail because of the misery that is coming on you. Your wealth has rotted and moths have eaten your clothes. Your gold and silver are corroded. Their corrosion will testify against you and eat your flesh like fire. You have hoarded wealth in the last days. Look, the wages you failed to pay the workers who mowed your fields are crying out against you. The cries of the harvesters have reached the ears of the Lord Almighty. You have lived on earth in luxury and self-indulgence. You have fattened yourselves in the day of slaughter. You have condemned and murdered the innocent one who was not opposing you. Be patient then, brothers and sisters, until the Lord's coming. See how the farmer waits for the land to yield its valuable crop, patiently waiting for the autumn and spring rains. You too be patient and stand firm, because the Lord's coming is near. Don't grumble against one another, brothers and sisters, or you will be judged. The judge is standing at the door. Brothers and sisters, as an example of patience in the face of suffering, take the prophets who spoke in the name of the Lord. As you know, we count as blessed those who have persevered. You have heard of Job's perseverance and have seen what the Lord finally brought about. The Lord is full of compassion and mercy. Above all, my brothers and sisters, do not swear, not by heaven or by earth or by anything else. All you need to say is a simple yes or no. Otherwise, you will be condemned. Is anyone among you in trouble? Let them pray. Is anyone happy? Let them sing songs of praise. Is anyone among you sick? Let them call the elders of the church to pray over them and anoint them with oil in the name of the Lord. And the prayer offered in faith will make the sick person well. The Lord will raise them up. If they have sinned, they will not be forgiven. Therefore, confess your sins to each other and pray for each other so that you may be healed. The prayer of a righteous person is powerful and effective. Elijah was a human being, even as we are. He prayed earnestly that it would not rain, and it did not rain on the land for 3.5 years. Again, he prayed, and the heavens gave rain, and the earth produced its crops. My brothers and sisters, if one of you should wander from the truth and someone should bring that person back, remember this. Whoever turns a sinner from the error of their way will save them from death and cover over a multitude of sins. That was beautiful.
And that rest of James. That was really good.
I love James.
That was good.
My heart. No, that was so good.
This is good. Verse 7. Be patient, therefore, brothers, until the coming of the Lord. See how the farmer waits for the precious fruit of the earth, being patient about it until it receives. You also be patient. Establish your hearts for the coming of the Lord. Do not grumble against one another. So just how we were saying earlier, like how we've been saying all through this night, just being patient and waiting, because it's like whatever comes is going to be precious.
Yes.
Precious fruit.
And I love in this version, the NIV, it says be patient and stand firm, because I think that's what faith is all about. And honestly, I don't feel you can have one fruit without the other, because they all sharpen each other. Like iron sharpens iron. You can't have patience without kindness. You can't have kindness without self-control. And so when you're standing firm, I think the firmness that you're standing in is the peace that you know that God is going to allow everything to work together for your good. And because you have that peace, you have self-control to not be like anxious.
Right.
And I think that's the fruit to go. Like I think every natural thing in the world has a spiritual encounter to go against it. For anxiety, I definitely think it's self-control and knowing what you have control over and then standing in that. And knowing
you don't have control over everything.
Man, and trusting that if you don't, like, let it go. The fruit for anxiety is self-control and trust and faith as well, because faith in God and not in the reality and all the choices, and understanding that it's God at the end of the day who's going to allow all things to work. So I love that. I also did 12. I used to tell my students this all the time. Above all, my brothers and sisters, do not swear, not by heaven or by earth or by anything else. All you need to say is a simple yes or no. Oh, my mama. Oh, my word. I'm like, no, like, stop. Like, I don't want to hear that. Like, literally, I don't want to hear that. Like, just, literally, I'm looking at them in there. So just say yes or no, and I'm going to take you at your word. And if I catch that you're lying, now I'm going to know that you're a liar. And I'm not taking you at your word. It's very simple.
Yeah.
It's very simple. But, yeah, that one I love, too.
I highlighted 16, where it says, the prayer of a righteous person has great power as it is working.
I love that one. And NIV it says it's powerful and effective. And I think that's it aligns with, I don't remember which chapter, I think maybe 3, but it's in James where it was talking about not swearing.
Yeah.
And how you're a person who is of your word.
Right.
Because out of the same mouth you can't have curses and goodness.
3 verses 10.
Yes. I think that ties perfectly with this. It's just talking about righteousness, because when you're a righteous person, everything I think is just naturally going to flow to you and through you because you're in right standing with God. Yeah. And I highlighted, I circled 17 where it says Elijah was a human being, even as we are. You know how he was like, let me dumb it down for you. He was a person, like a regular flesh.
These weren't just like perfect men,
literally,
that were all the way up here, standing next to me. These are people like me and you sitting right. He could be sitting right here, sitting right next to us.
Prayed earnestly. I circled that because I'm like, oh, okay, that's what we do in life. Let me lock in. Prayed earnestly, and it did not rain. And I think that just shows you even more the power of the tongue and the territories that God entrusts to us. It's intentional, like the
and
places.
And how it's like accessible to us all, and like it's capable of all. Because this is a man like we are. So it's like, if he can do it and God can show evidence through this man, he can show it through us as well. So it's capable. All we have to do is just go and like
deeper.
Get it.
Yeah, go deeper into relationship. I also like the prayer of faith. If anyone is in trouble, let them pray. If anyone's happy, let them
pray
sing.
for any and everything.
Yeah. Pray without ceasing. That's in Thessalonians.